Hello friends, I welcome you all in refrigeration and air conditioning lecture. In this lecture, we are going to learn air conditioning system. So we will start our topic. So what is air conditioning system? So the air conditioning is that branch of engineering science which deals with the study of conditioning of air, that is supplying and maintaining the desirable internal atmospheric conditions for human comfort irrespective of external condition. Refrigeration and air conditioning subject in its broad sense also deals with the conditioning of air for industrial purposes, food processing, storage of foods and other materials. So the next important topic is factor affecting the comfort air conditioning system. So the different factor affects the comfort air conditioning system. So first factor is temperature of air, second humidity of air, third purity, and last one is motion of air. So we will start one by one. The first factor is temperature of air. Now temperature in air conditioning, the control of temperature means the maintenance of any desired temperature within an enclosed space even though the temperature of the outside air is above or below the desired room conditions or temperatures. This is accomplished either by addition or removal of heat from the enclosed space and when the demanded. It may be noted that the human being feels comfortable when the air temperature is 21 degrees Celsius and 56% relative humidity. So they are the temperatures and humidity comfort conditions. The second important factor is humidity of air. The control of humidity of air means the decreasing or increasing the moisture content of air during summer or winter irrespective in order to produce comfortable and healthy condition. The control of humidity is not only necessary for human comfort but also increase the efficiency of the workers. In general, for summer air conditioning, the relative humidity should not be less than 60%, whereas for winter air conditioning, it should not be more than 40%. The third important point is purity of air. The purity of air is an important factor for comfort of human body. It has been noticed that people do not feel comfortable when breathing contaminated air, even if it is within acceptable temperature and humidity ranges. It is thus obvious that proper filtration, cleaning and purification of air is essential to keep it free from dust and other impurities. The last factor is motion of air. So the motion or circulation of air is another important factor which should be controlled in order to keep constant temperature throughout the conditioned space. It is therefore necessary that there should be equidistribution of air throughout the space to be air conditioned. So these are the four factor effects comfort air conditioning, and we have to consider all these four factors while designing of or selecting of the equipment or component. The next important point is equipments used in air conditioning system. So these are the 6 equipments are used in air conditioning system. So the first important equipment is circulation fan. The main function of the fan is to move air to and from the room. The second equipment is air conditioning unit. It is unit which consists of cooling and dehumidifying process for summer air conditioning or heating and humidification process for winter air conditioning system. Air conditioning system is made up of compressor, condenser, expansion valve and evaporator. The next component is supply duct. It supply ducts directs the conditioned air from the circulating fan to the space to be air conditioning at proper point. The next important equipment is supply outlets. These are the grills which distribute the conditioning of air evenly in the room. The next equipment is return outlets. These are the opening in the room surface which allow the room air to enter the return ducts. And the last equipment is filter. So the function of filter, the main function of the filter is to remove dust and other harmful bacteria from the air and filters the air. These are the equipments are used in air conditioning system. The next point is types of air conditioning system. So the classification based on purpose, season of the year, equipment arrangement, then substance used in the system, and according to the volume of air handled by the system. So we will see one by one. The first important classification of air conditioning system is based on a purpose. So according to the purpose, the air conditioning systems are sub-classified into two types: comfort air conditioning system and industrial air conditioning system. So in comfort air conditioning system, the air is brought to the required drivable temperature and relative humidity for human health, comfort and efficiency. So the comfort temperature already we have discussed, it is 21 degrees Celsius drivable temperature and 56% relative humidity. If the sufficient data of the required condition is not given, then we have to assume that 21 degrees Celsius drivable temperature and 56% relative humidity is considered. Then the comfort air conditioning may be adopted for homes, offices, shops, restaurants, and theaters, hospital, schools, etc. The next type is industrial air conditioning system. It is an important system of air conditioning. It is an important system of air conditioning these days, in which the inside drivable temperature and relative humidity of the air is kept constant for proper working of machines and proper research and manufacturing processes. Some of the sophisticated electronics and other machines need a particular drivable temperature and relative humidity. Sometimes these machines also require a particular methods of psychrometric processes. This type of air conditioning system is used in textile mills, paper mills, machine parts manufacturing, tool rooms, photo processing plants. These are the different applications of industrial air conditioning system where the industrial ACs are used. The next type is based on season of the year. So based on season of the year, the AC systems are classified into three subtypes: winter AC, summer AC, and year-round air conditioning system. In winter air conditioning system, the this system is used in winter season. So as per the application, the name of the system is known as winter air conditioning system. The next is summer air conditioning system. The summer air conditioning system, the conditions are hot and humid. So when the hot and humid conditions are available, then summer air conditioning conditioners are used. The next type is year-round AC system. Year-round AC systems are the combined system for winter and summer. So it is also known as all year-round AC system. So all year AC systems are used in summer as well as in winter. The next classification is according to the equipment arrangement. The central AC system and unitary AC system, these are the two subtypes of equipment arrangement. According to equipment arrangement, so we will see central AC system. So the central AC systems are the most important type of air conditioning system, which is adopted when the cooling capacity required is 25 TR or more. The central AC system is also adopted when the airflow is more than 300 meter cube per minute or different zones in building are to be conditioned. And the next subtype is unitary air conditioning system. Unitary air conditioning system again sub-classified into two types: window units and vertical packed unit. So window AC or window units are these are the self-contained units for small capacity of 1 TR to 3 TR its capacity and are mounted in a window or through the wall. They are employed to condition the air of the room only. If the room is bigger in size, then two or more than window ACs are used. And the second type is vertical packed unit. These are also self-contained units of bigger capacity of 5 to 20 TR and are installed adjacent to the space to be conditioned. This is very useful for conditioning the air of restaurant, bank and small office. The unitary AC systems may be adopted for winter, summer and year-round AC system. The next classification is based on working substance used in the system. So there are the four different types of systems are used: all air system, chilled water system, air water system and DX system. DX is a direct expansion type of system. And the last classification is according to the volume of air handled by the system: constant volume system and variable air volume system. In a constant volume system, the air flow rate is constant, so the name of the system is known as constant volume system. and the variable volume system is advanced methods or advanced system is used in air conditioning system. In variable air volume system, we can change the air volume by using damper opening and closing. So variable air volume system is the most efficient system. This is used in industrial and commercial applications. The next important point is winter air conditioning system. So already we have discussed classification of air conditioning system. So in that, according to the season of the year, AC systems are classified into three types: winter, summer, and year-round or all-round year AC system. So now we will see the winter air conditioning system. In winter air conditioning, the air is heated, which is generally accompanied by humidification process. The schematic arrangement for winter AC system is shown here. The outside air flows through a damper and mix up with a recirculated air. The recirculated air means which is obtained from a conditioned space. The mixed air passes through filter. Mixed air passes through filter to remove dust, dirt, and other impurities. The air now passes through a preheater coil in order to prevent the possible freezing of water and to control evaporation of water in the humidifier. After that, the air is made to pass through a reheat coil to bring the air to the designed dry bulb temperature. Now, the conditioned air is supplied to the conditioned space by fan. By using this fan, the conditioned air is supplied to the conditioning room and it handles the room load, and again it is recirculated in the mixing chamber. So for ventilation purpose, the outside air is required. So the assumptions are like that: the 20 to 30% air is exhausted from recirculated air and 80 to 70% air is recirculated, and from outside or from atmosphere the 20 to 30% air enter through damper, and the 80 to 70% and 20 to 30% outside air enter in a mixing chamber, and again it enter in a filter, preheater, humidifier, and reheater coil. The main point is for winter AC system, the outside conditions are low temperature and humidity in winter season is also low, so the heating with humidification process is used. So you can see that on a psychrometric chart, 1 to 2 process indicates heating with humidification process. So one condition is the entry condition and two condition are the room condition. So one condition is at low temperature and the humidity is low, and the two condition, of course, it is at higher temperature and at higher specific humidity. 1 to 2 process indicate heating with humidification process. The next point is summer air conditioning system. It is the most important type of air conditioning system in which air is cooled and generally dehumidified, because in summer season the outside conditions are hot and humid condition. Mostly this system, AC system, used in coastal region. The schematic arrangement for summer air conditioning system is shown here. The outside air flows through the damper and mix up with a recirculated air. Again, recirculated air which is obtained from the conditioned space. The mixed air passes through a filter to remove dust, dirt, and other impurities. The air now passes through a cooling coil. The coil has a temperature much below the required dry bulb temperature of the air in the conditioned space. The cooled air passes through perforated membrane and loses its moisture, and the moistures are collected in a sump tank. After that, the air is made to pass through heating coil which heat up the air slightly. This is done to bring the air to design dry bulb temperature and relative humidity. Now the conditioning air is supplied to the conditioned space by using a fan. From the conditioned space, a part of used air is exhausted to the atmosphere by the exhaust fan or ventilators, and the remaining part of the used air is again conditioning is shown here. Then recirculated air again enter in a mixing chamber and outside air enter, and the 100% air filter by using filter again enter in cooling coil, then heating coil, and by using fan it enter in the conditioning space. For summer air conditioning system, cooling with dehumidification process is used. So 122 process indicates cooling with dehumidification process, because in summer season, the outside conditions are hot and high humidity. So W1 is the humidity at 0.1 and TD1 is the temperature at 0.1. After all these processes, we will get condition 2. Condition 2 is a room design condition. It is at low temperature and at low humidity. The last point is year-round air conditioning system. The year-round air conditioning should have the equipment for both the summer and winter air conditioning. The schematic of year-round air conditioning is shown here. The outside air flows through the dampers and mix up with the recirculated air. The recirculated air, which is coming from the conditioning space, the mixed air passes through filter to remove dust, dirt and other impurities. In summer air conditioning, the cooling coil is operating in condition and it cools to the air at desired value. The dehumidification is obtained by operating the cooling coil at temperature lower than the dew point temperature. The dew point temperature is also known as apparatus dew point temperature. And in winter season, the cooling coil is made inoperative and the heating coil is operate and heat up the air. The spray type of humidifier is also made used in the dry season to humidify the air. So basically, year-round AC system are also known as all year round AC system. It is 2-in-1 system. It is used in summer as well as in winter season.